Joining us now to talk about the AU and UN peacekeeping mission in Somalia and Nigeria's contingent to the mission is a Rise News defense correspondent, Ferdinand Duroha. Ferdinand?
Thank you so much. So happy to be back. When I say happy, I'm indeed happy. And that's because it's an interesting terrain. Looks calm, but
from the outside.
From the outside. But we're warned that it could be volatile.
Anytime. The bombs could just go flying.
Definitely, and it's also interesting to see the kind of some kind of characters. How free they are with weapons. Even the traffic police officer wants to have his barrel, wants to hang his barrel while controlling traffic.
32 years of what you want to call civil war there. It's what achievement is the AU and the security authorities really? What can they talk of?
Well, at this point, it's going to be very difficult to put any achievement on anybody's doorsteps. But if there's one thing that was noticed clearly, is the fact that fatigue is beginning to set in as regards the people. They are tired of the war, and for them, they want everybody to go. They want everybody to go back home, go to your place. Let's see if we can fix things ourselves. Now, that's exactly why the AU have decided to push AMISON, to push ATMIS, in other words, a way of Somalians solving their own problems, Somalians taking the lead. Now, when you go back,
they're always in the forefront, of the security architecture.
It only started happening recently, last year, 2022.
Okay.
Well, since 2007,
that shows that there is some form of security stability.
Yes.
But tell us about the Nigeria police. Nigerians despise them so much at home. Meanwhile, these people are like, fetching water in fact, going to hunt lions with bare hands back at home here.
True.
And when they get overseas, they are super excellent. They are number one.
True.
Why?
True. The Commissioner of Police, Hillary, said something, talked about how well they've performed. Now, she's in charge of the police contingent. Now, talking about the police, they've got two structures. Well, they've got the formed police units who do the daily operations, and then also they have the individual police officers who take charge of trainings, take charge of the research and all that. Now, the total of them is about 199. And when we spoke with, the Somali police force, they were so appreciative of what the Nigerian police have done. And then also Hillary, who is the Commissioner of Police,
she's training and everything, stabilizing and creating their own police.
She's from Sierra Leone, and they had very excellent words.
Nigeria police trains the Sierra Leonean police too.
Definitely. At the point, Sierra Leone, they were at this point. They were at this point after the civil war.
Yeah.
But we went there. We were the first troops down there, stabilized at the place. Set things in order for civil-military relations, and then from then they've moved on. Now that's exactly what they're trying to do. Now, there have been several drawdowns, since 2022, when, the AU decided that, it's time for us to leave things in the hands of the Somalis, and then let's see exactly what they can do in terms of managing their affairs. And due to financial fatigue as well, they decided, first of all, cut down 2,000 out of the 17,000 that was left. They cut down 2,000 in June. At the end of this September, they're going to draw down 3,000. And then hopefully in December also, there will be a number cut. And then by December 2024, they are hoping that there will be a final exit. But if you ask me, it's not very likely, but then it's one step at a time. They want Somali solutions to Somali problems. Now, that's exactly what they are saying, and they want the Somalis to take the lead and, ensure that they begin to handle things for themselves. Now, when you get into the society, you see new structures are springing up. You see an attempt.
Even with the divided countries, Somaliland, Somalia, and the rest.
You see
two
an
governments
attempt.
in one country.
Not just two governments. It's very interesting to see that almost every state has a president. Almost every state has a president, and that was exactly what messed up things a whole lot. Too many warlords, getting involved in the fight, and it became difficult. And then came Al-Shabaab, who decided, to come in and then mess up everywhere around the Horn of Africa. And just a couple of days back, the force commander, I met with him, and he told me categorically, well, if you think that any part of Africa, including West Africa, is safe from Al-Shabaab, you're mistaken. Now, when you talk about Al-Shabaab, from their structure, from their operations, they are clearly much more dangerous than even the Boko Haram, and they've established links across various African countries, and the links are real.
What's their objective? They've not finished dealing with the insurrection in Somalia, and they want to spread their tentacles to Africa. What's their objective?
It's purely terrorism. We can't say it's religion.
Just a group of people say, look, we're going to terrorize, destabilize.
We can't come out and then talk about religion. Obviously, far from it. From what we see in Somalia,
just brazen criminality.
Brazen criminality. That's exactly what it is.
I'm so interested. I'm so enthused about the Nigeria police. Anytime they give them kudos, I'm very happy, because we know how they perform here very well too, in the midst of lack of facilities. Go to the average police station, you don't find lights there.
You almost get nothing. The vehicles, they struggle to put fuel in them.
They don't. Some don't have.
And it was a difficult question for some of them to put out there. And trust me, I decided to help them by not throwing them into the mix when I spoke with some of them concerning the atmosphere in which they operate, and then the atmosphere back at home. And that's because we know exactly how some of these things work. I do not want anybody to get vindictive, but clearly it was spelled out. The AU, the UN provides the atmosphere. Now that atmosphere is also monitored by Nigerians as well. The IPOs and then some other authorities,
CSOs,
they do the monitoring. They ensure that these things that here you want to look at and say these things are high practices, they do not happen over there. You need equipment. These equipment are
available. See how well kitted, how beautifully dressed the commissioner of police is.
They are available. And the very interesting thing about service is, it's both ways. You do your part, I do my part. Yeah. And then also, when it's time to rest, they also get their time to rest. Now, that's exactly...
And they are paid their allowances adequately.
Now, that's, two things that, do not get to happen here. Within the country, we see some Nigerian police officers work as much as 7 days a week, no day off, and
and you want them to perform magic,
and then for some of them, it's even for the 48, it's even 24 hours. Do the morning rotation, do the evening rotation, and so I think, clearly, these personnel can be better. They have shown abroad that they definitely can do it. And
if they bring
it is on the Nigerian authorities right now to put things in place in terms of motivation and equipment to ensure that these same guys give us the kind of service that they give. And then also, just as it is in the AU, when they don't deliver, they are decommissioned. They are asked to go away.
Straight away.
That's the way it is.
Yes.
If you do things that you're not supposed to do, they decamp you, and then they ask you to go away.
Ferdinand, thanks so very much. A very great experience there. I'm sure you'll still be going to some other war-torn countries very soon. That's not different.
As long as we have the helmet and the full armor.